Hello my love, I'm here today to share with you my most used decks of July 2025. Now, it's hard to believe that July is over, and today I'm recording this video on August 10th. The reason why I'm recording this video now is because the past 2 weeks they were very busy. I ended up overbooking with one-on-one live sessions and recorded readings, right? So I didn't have the time to come here and record a video for you, but now everything's back on track. I am now kind of closed for the live one-on-one sessions. I'm having more recorded readings now because recording for this channel, this YouTube channel, is one of my top priorities now. Growing this channel and having our community here is one of my top priorities. You are one of my top priorities right now. So I want to be here with you every week. I'm so happy for being here. I really miss staying here, sitting here and talking to you and listening to your thoughts. It's very important to me. So I'd like to, using this moment to say thank you so much for each one of you that has been watching my videos, leaving your comments, your insightful comments, exchanging with me, talking to me, liking the videos, sharing the videos. You're so important for me. You're so important on my path, my spiritual path. I'm grateful for your presence, your existence. Okay, so I will start now sharing with you. I'm not going to show, but as usual, every month I use this deck every day, guys. This is the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetypes. Now I published one video, one review on this deck, like comparing and talking about the full size and this pocket size. So I'm going to link the video here. I use this deck every single day because this deck helps me to understand the archetype that is active on my clients and students' lives in each session, in each reading. So this deck is always there. I'm going to link the review here so you can watch it. Now, what happened in July is that, of course, July is summer. In the beginning of July, it was pretty hot, but at some point in the middle of the month, we started feeling a little bit like, I started feeling a little bit like fall. So it would be, okay, summer in the sun, but when you would go to the shadow, you would feel, you know, like we would have that breeze, even a little chilly. So I was like, oh my God, it's fall, and fall is my favorite season ever. So it's very easy for me to get into the fall mood. When you go to stores, you're going to see pumpkins, you're going to see all fall decoration around. And then July was over, and now it's August, and today is like 35 degrees, extremely hot. So I'm back to thinking. I decided to focus. Doesn't matter if 1 day or 2 days or some days, if they feel like fall, I don't care. I'm going to live, enjoy summer, because I shared with you earlier this year that winter was very long here for us. So even April and May, it was still pretty cold. So I want to make the most of this summer, enjoy the summer a lot. Now, I'm going to start sharing with you this deck. I am in love with her. I'm so in love with this deck. It is the Albano-Waite. So every time, all the time, I have one OG Rider-Waite here on my work table, because I always use this deck for my readings, for my personal readings as well. And this deck has been replacing the Universal, which is my favorite Rider-Waite version. Oh, guys, I love this deck so much. I don't know, I'm so happy working with her. She brings me happiness. Look at these colors. I really love this deck. I don't know if she's going to replace the Universal forever. I don't think so, because Universal was my first Rider-Waite, the deck I learned to read tarot with. But I must tell you that she has a soft spot here. I love this deck. I have to recommend this deck. She's fantastic. I love it. Another tarot deck that I used a lot in July, because it really, really feels like summer, is this one here, the Bonefire Tarot, right? She screams, summer, summer, summer. My husband and I, we are watching Friends again. Friends was my favorite TV show ever. I think I watched that over 20 times already. And we are watching again, and then it reminded me of Janice. Summer. Okay. Look at this. Look at these colors. It's beautiful, isn't it? I'm so happy when I read with when I read with this deck. I really love busy decks. She has been giving me insightful decks and of course insightful readings, and of course she's super talkative and she has lots of energy. I love working with this deck, and in July she was like a star for me, but much more for personal readings. Okay, in love with this deck. She's beautiful. Now in July I worked a lot with this beauty here, one of my favorite tarot decks ever, which is the Tarot, I hit the box here, Tarot of the Abyss. I just published a review for this beautiful deck, and I'm going to link here for you. It's amazing. This deck's just, I don't have not even words. So I used this deck a lot for client sessions. She was the star this month, and I use this deck a lot because I'm creating a workshop on working with the feminine, right? The feminine wisdom, the feminine energy, the divine feminine, using the Empress and the Queens in tarot. So I'm preparing their workshop. It's going to be a beautiful offering that I'm going to bring pretty soon. And this deck is one of the two decks that really helped me to understand and connect to court cards like no other decks. The other one I'm going to show you soon. This is one of them. And this deck is there for, well, you're going to watch the review, but she's there for any kind of readings. It doesn't matter if it is professional, if you're coming to me to talk about your professional life, about your personal life, about your spiritual path, doesn't matter. She is there for any kind of reading. She's deep, she's compassionate, she's loving, she's clear, she's everything. I can't imagine my collection without her. So she was one of my stars and a star for professional readings, right? Client readings. Now a deck that came back was this one here, the Tarot Illuminati by Eric June. Now, this is an old deck, and I haven't used this deck that much actually for years. So she was the deck that back then, well, I told you already, I don't have such thing as a soul deck, but she was, I would feel like she was a soul deck for me back in 2000. I don't know when it was released, 2015 or 16, I don't remember, but she was like the closest I had to a soulmate deck back then, soul deck. And you see, this is the deck that showed me, that taught me that I love busy cards. So some people would complain about that. I really love busy cards. Look at this. It's not a perfect deck, you know, it's not perfect, but I really enjoy this deck. And then I decided to work with this deck because of the workshop, because I had to use the court cards, some of the court cards here. And look at the Queen of Wands. And since I was there with this deck in my hands, I started using it for readings, and it's simply fantastic. I love this deck. It's a beautiful deck, and I'm going to show you, this is my favorite court card of all time. The King of Swords. I'm not even that connected to the Suit of Swords, but I love this guy so much. So he's my masculine for sure. This is how my masculine looks like. He is the energy. I mean, he's a father figure. He's a brother, an older brother. No, he's not like the energy of a younger brother. He's an older male figure. I love this deck, and I love this card. So this is my most favorite, like the one that I relate the most when it comes to court cards. and I've been using this deck a lot. So these two here, I worked with them a lot because they are my favorite decks for court cards. Okay, when it comes to court cards, that's it. They are the best ones, hands down, in my humble opinion. Now, these were the tarot decks that I used the most in July. I'm not going to show you everything that I use, just the ones that I use the most, because otherwise it would be way too long. But okay, before that, let's come back a little bit before the end of the month. One deck here that I want to share with you. I'll have to write the name here because I don't know the name for this deck. That's the problem for me with decks that come with no boxes, because it's so hard for me to memorize the name. I'm going to write the name of this deck here. But it's a deck by Autumn Sky. She's the artist of Elena Fairchild's Sacred Rebels Oracle. Okay, and this deck is it's not mass market, it is an indie deck, so you're going to buy on her Etsy store. I'm going to leave the link down below if it's still available. This one here is the expanded edition, and I love this deck. I love this deck so much. And I've been using this deck in all readings as well as a theme card, as a card that is going to give an idea about the subject we're talking about, something to end the reading as well. Because this is the artwork. There's no guidebook, there's no box. This is the artwork, and then when you flip, you have the message. And these messages, they are spot on. They're perfect. Like, you don't need anything else. They are the perfect jump point for you. The artwork's just stunning. I love this deck. I couldn't recommend this deck more. And in almost every session, my students, they would ask, oh, I always tell my clients, I always tell you when you come for a session what decks I'm using, just in case you want to add to your collection. But everybody always says, almost everybody, Rachel, I need a deck. So it is a deck that people are falling in love with. Let me even, I'm going to draw one card here for us, a community. Passion, find your bliss, release shame, heal emotional blocks, explore sacred sensuality, and live passionately. Beautiful for summer, isn't it? Beautiful for summer. So this is a deck that I've been using a lot. And okay, I had some decks that were in another house, and I have been using them in a while. Now I'm going to use them more, especially in August, in the video that I'm going to share, showing you decks that I want to connect with this month. But one of these decks, and then, okay, these decks, they were in another house, and I decided to bring them here. We decided to bring them here. And one of them is this one, and I have been using this deck a lot, which is Grace cards. Now, I believe this deck's out of print. It's a super simple deck. Reminds me a little bit of the other one that I just showed you, because we're going to have the artwork, a keyword here, and then the message. It's a reproduction of the card image and the message. So I've been using this deck, or I used this deck in July as a focal point, let's say, a message with my readings, especially the personal ones, the ones that I do in the morning. It's a beloved deck. It's a beautiful deck. The artwork's just fascinating. I think it's gorgeous. Look at this. This one is soul. Practice good soul care. The quality of our outer life is always dependent on the quality of care we give to our soul. Beautiful. So I've been connecting to this deck again, and it's been a joy. Beautiful. And because I'm creating the feminine workshop, I told you, it's perfect. she's perfect for that work because I'm doing the work myself. And sometimes when you do this kind of work, as I'm going to share with you in the workshop, we need these kind of messages. We need moments when we share a little bit more of love and compassion with ourselves, because doing the work is not easy. It's challenging. That's why it's worth it so much, because it's challenging and it brings us so much. Now, a deck that I used in July, I decided to bring back, especially in the end of July, and I'm going to use it in August as well, is this one here, the Mother Mary Oracle by Elena Fairchild. I added this deck because I wanted to work with clients, because I started not seeing that women in North America, especially women from the United States, started not seeing that religious trauma is very, very, I don't want to say common, but yeah, it started showing up in a way that I've never faced before, and I thought that it would be important to connect to Mother Mary and work with them. And I ended up finding a very personal way to work with this deck. She's a message from my mom. So I love to draw a card every night before bed and read the message in the guidebook. Now, Elena Fairchild's decks, I don't read them intuitively. I don't think they're good for that. I love them. I think the images, they are wonderful for meditation, but I do use her guidebook. It's a wonderful guidebook. I mean, all her decks, they have wonderful guidebooks, and I'm about to record, I have it here, Alana's Goddesses, one of the videos that I'm going to record is talking to you about all Elena Fairchild's Goddesses decks. And this is the only one that I don't have the pocket edition, only the larger one, but at least at this point, I don't believe I'm going to add the pocket edition, because I'm so happy with her. So let's see what's going to happen. And then by the end of the month, I received this gift from a student. Oh, yeah. El Tarot de los Vampiros. The Tarot of Vampyres, I think is in English. It is a deck that is out of print now in English, and I didn't buy the deck, and I regret it because people say that the guidebook's very good for people that study, that are involved with Kabbalah like I am. But I didn't have this deck. And then this student bought this one. The book's not here because I'm reading the book. I don't even know where is the book now, but it's there somewhere because I'm reading the book. And this is the Spanish edition. So she sent to me. The card is slightly larger than a regular. This is the Tarot of the Abyss. This is the El Tarot de los Vampiros. It's Spanish. Spanish is not my language, but I can read Spanish. And then I started using this deck. And it feels to me, especially when we see what the author shares in the guidebook, it's a deck for shadow work. And yeah, it's a great deck for that. It's not my cup of tea when it comes to the artwork, but it's interesting for shadow work. It's very good. And I have been using that deck with this one here, the Earth. I used in the end of July with the Earth and Bone Oracle. Beautiful readings, guys. These two, they go well. They go together so well. Now, this Earth and Bone Oracle is one of the only cases when the mass market's much better than the indie edition, in my opinion, because the indie edition was a little too dark, so I would not be interested in that. And this one here, the colors are bright. It's easy to see the image. Look at this. It is a lovely, lovely deck, spot on as well. And this deck has been working beautifully with the Tarot de los Vampiros, the Tarot of Vampyres. And then I will end up by sharing with you something that is not a tarot deck, but I decided to buy this one here. Wicca sticker book. Now, I'm not Wicca, I'm not rich, I'm nothing like that. But then I saw this book on Amazon, and then in the comments people are saying it's not a Wicca book, it's more like classic images and Waterhouse, and that's what I love. Right? Exactly the kind of artwork I love. So I decided to buy this sticker book, and it's beautiful, so I'd like to recommend. So I have some images here on my journal. I liked the quality of this sticker book. The images, they're all stickers, look. It's beautiful. So if you like this kind of images as I do, maybe you should give it a try. Thank you so much for being here with me for July. And let me know in the comments which ones are the decks that you have been using in July the most. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Thank you so much, my love.